because everybody knows, everybody talks about me because my name is Van Pebble. And oh, hey, everybody. I was just doing a little singing thing there. How's it going, folks? Van Pebble here. Streamer extraordinaire. Anthropologist. I don't know. Trying to come up with things that I am. I'm a philanthropist, a philanthropist, a philosophist, a philosophist, but I'm not an apologist. But I am an anachronologist, endocrinologist. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Van Pebble, and I am a streamer. And what we're streaming today is HD poker. We're doing it early today. We're doing it live. And we're starting early. I don't usually stream at like 9 in the morning. That's early for me. And since we're still waiting, this is why I usually just start the game and then jump into the stream while we're playing. But that's cool. I'll throw a little bit of music on while we're waiting for a game to start. We're playing HD poker today. There we go. I'm starting to feel better. I got kind of sick the last couple of weeks, and now I'm starting to feel good. So we're trying to get back into the groove of life. And sometimes you get up early in the morning, and it's sometimes you do that, and then sometimes, and then sometimes, and sometimes, and sometimes. But if you get up early in the mornings, I find that helps you get back into the flow. You know, when you feel sick or you feel a little out of step with things, or maybe you had just like, who knows, whatever reason that it is that you feel out of it. Maybe something's been bothering you, whatever it is. It makes the body feel ill at ease. You know? And so one way to do that is to kind of like get some good rest, which we did, and then get up early and start the day, conquer the day, you know? So that's what we're doing today. We're conquering the day. We're streaming today. And it's going to be a great day. Again, my name's Van Pebble, and we are playing HD poker. And it's interesting. We played King 3 on the right table. And then I'll tell you what we're doing here, what the stakes are here. But we have a hand. We're in the middle of a nice hand here, King 3, which is 2 pair, which is a nice hand. It's a good hand to win for the beginning, you know, for the start of a tournament, start of a game. So we're going to bet easy going just to see what everybody else. That's kind of what I call a feel bet. I'm feeling out the table. On the left table, King 2. So we got King 3 on the right table, King 2 on the left table. Here we go, folks. There's a king that shows up on the flop. This guy bets 44K. I will call that. And nice win with 154K. That's a good win. And we're playing 2 tables. Playing 850K on the right table, and on the left table, big $200 million table. This is not real money, it's fake money. I have $11 billion, as you can see on the upper right-hand corner. And to me, it's like I'm not really a gambler, so this is my gambling. This is how I get my gambling fix. It's a little competition. There's a little something on the line. I don't need real money to feel motivated by something. I can feel motivated without cash. So they bet 4.8 million. Let's see. Okay, he had king and queen, so he would have beat me anyway. And on this table, we've got jacks, and there's the ace. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to bet a little bit again. $20,000 we're betting. On the left-hand table, the big table, the $200 million table, I've got ace queen. And there's the ace on the flop. That's good. I'm going to do a little feeler bet for $4 million. And we are not sponsored today. We are not sponsored by Vive Organic Ginger Boost, which I'm trying to boost my immune system because we've been sick for the last 3 weeks. And we're going to drink one a day. And that's nice. That feels so good. That feels great. And we're also drinking Ito En tea. Ito En Ui Ocha. Unsweetened green tea. Not sponsored. Not a sponsor of the stream, but you would think it's a sponsor the way we drink it on stream, but it's not a sponsor. You look back there, you see all those teas back there. Don't you call me a tease. Don't you call me a tease just because I have teas. And I'm wearing a tease shirt. Boy, this streamer is really bad. This streamer is terrible. I mean, why is this guy talking about tea and t-shirts? What the fuck is this guy doing? What'd you say? Nothing. Just the inner voice, that's all. The truth is, I've always wanted to do that on a stream. Like, obviously, you can't just do that on a stream where you just become, like, a one-dimensional guy. But I've always wanted to just be, like, a little bit like, guys, what the hell? Like a golf commentator. Like, he's going to take the shot. What's he going to do? I remember I saw a comedian. Well, first of all, golfers do it. The golfing commentators do it. And I remember there was a comedian. I forget his name, but he's like, from Iowa or something, and I remember he was just doing his jokes, and then he would tell a joke, but then after he would tell the joke, he would go, "Why are they saying? What are they looking at? Why don't they laugh?" Like he was doing like that. Believe me, it was funny. And then I remember thinking, like, that's so good. I would love to do something like that someday. Like that's a good idea. Like the idea of the inner voice being spoken in real time is a really funny concept. Even though I hate stand-up comedy, as I got older, I learned to hate it. So now it's like, well, I'll just do it on a stream. It's fun to do on the stream. I mean, there's different ways to express yourself. It doesn't have to be stand-up comedy. I remember growing up too, like where people would be like, "Oh, are you good? You're pretty funny." Not that everybody tells me I'm funny. People don't. Don't get the wrong idea. That's not what I'm trying to say. But this has happened to me. It doesn't happen a lot, by the way. But it's happened before where people are like, "Oh, you're funny," or you should be a comedian or something. And I was like, and I always thought that I should have been. And then when I got a job at a comedy club as a cook, I got to see the ins and outs. By the way, we have Ace Jack always back to the game, no matter what the conversation is. The game is the most important thing here. We have Ace Jack. What's going on here? I'm gonna bet big here. I think I have the hand, but I don't know. 81 is a lot. It's a lot of money at this table. People have been slow betting, and now on the left table, there I got the win there. So we're up to $1 million. That's good. We're playing really well. We're playing really tight and smart. We're looking for a flush here on the left table. This is a big pot. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. But that doesn't mean we have the big one. I'm gonna bet the pot, and I'll just be happy to win 20 million at this point. Even though that's not what I would really win, probably. So we only probably won like 10 million there. If I'm just doing the math real quick. So anyway, I worked at a comedy club as a cook, and that's when I was like, maybe this is my destiny. Like I'm gonna go up on open mic. I'm gonna become a comedian. And then it was such a bad experience, just seeing how people handle themselves, and the gross bartender, the comedian guy that's trying to get free time. He's this whole thing. The only reason he works there is so that he can do get some time on the stage, and he's gross, and everybody's gross, and the owner is disgusting, and the owner's wife is a cunt, and the fucking and the microphone smells like a beer. And there's people putting bread in my jar and they say, man, what are you doing here? Billy Joel song. But it really was like, I really did get like that really deep like view, really deep backstage view of what stand-up comedy really was, and I didn't like it. And I didn't like the people, and I thought, this isn't what I'm going to be. But I'm definitely going to do something like creative with words, but it's not going to be this. And so it was like, so then I thought that I would start doing a podcast, but since that hasn't happened, and we started streaming, and then now we're streamer. Now we streamer. Now we streamer. That what we are. And I like it. I like streaming, and I would like to do a podcast at some point. It'll be a solo podcast. I feel like the solo thing is the way to go. And really, like, when you're doing comedy, it's a community. And it's not a very nice community. It's kind of gross. It's very competitive. And if people like you, they love you, and you'll succeed. If they don't like you, they'll compete against you and step on your toes and step on your back. And it's a nasty little business. Comedy's a nasty little business. Even the open mic stuff, which is like the open road, it's how people want to become a comedian. That's why Kill Tony is such a big deal. A lot of people know Kill Tony. It's a podcast where, you know, amateur comedians can like become professional, but it's a lot of people don't know. This is what I've heard. I don't know if this is true actually, but I've heard, by the way, terrible flop here. I would love to call it, because I have an ace, but I don't want to lose any money. I want to play tight, so I folded. But the Kill Tony thing, by the way, we're always back to the game. We always try to remember where we are. Kill Tony is an easy way to remember where we are. I'm just going to check that. 120K. 8-7, I'll fold. I think I got this one. There it is. So 1.25 million. Doing good at this table. Doing good at both tables. Just playing extremely tight and just trying to get a win out of these. Just playing tight, really tight. So I think the Kill Tony thing is fixed. So apparently, like, they get like a bucket and they put a bunch of names in there and they pick the names. But apparently that's fake. That they actually know who's going to be on the stage. And I think sometimes it is. Sometimes they do pick it randomly. I don't know how it really works. But that show, Kill Tony, is an example of the dream that people have, because most people have an idea that what they have to say is interesting. They never get. A lot of people don't get a chance to talk. We've talked about this many times on streams. That like that's the reason I really stream. It's not because I'm obviously not like, I don't want to put myself down, but I'm not a looker. Okay, I'm not a model. I'm not here for the beauty thing. No one is going to be like, he's so hot, I want to look at him, you know? Maybe some freaks out there, but for the most part, you're getting like the personality from me, right? And so that's what I feel like I have to contribute. I have something I feel to contribute, and so this is where we go to do it. But this is a desire I have. This isn't just like, I'm not trying to make like a career out of this, because that's unrealistic, and I know that. Ace 3? But it doesn't matter. This is like this is what I do. So instead of going like, how long are you going to do this? You're not going anywhere. It's like, no, I'm going somewhere with this, because I'm getting this stuff out, and that's why I'm doing it. So anything I do is going to be successful, because I'm moving in that road of like, I'm working with my thoughts and my feelings, and I'm getting something out there that I needed to get out. So that's a success already. You know what I mean? And so stand-up comedy, what you have is a lot of people that are doing it because they've been told that they're funny. Also, a lot of them are like good-looking and popular people, and so of course the popular person should be out there hustling. It's just very tough to do it that way. And it's a lot of times it's a casting couch and it's gross and it's ugly. Believe me, I saw a lot of bad stuff out there. And then there was this one guy who was, I can't say his name, but like he was this like really weird eccentric dude. He had like pink hair, and I think he was on coke half the time. It turned out he was molesting people at the comedy club. And so there was like a lot of stuff coming out when I quit the comedy club. And I'll never say what the comedy club was because I don't want to get sued. And I'll never say names. But like I remember like it was a tough thing to watch. Like, even though there's stuff I didn't know at the time, but looking back on it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like, that guy was creepy or whatever, you know? This is a big bet we're betting here. This guy's betting a little too big here. Okay, good. He didn't bet that time. I don't think he really has anything. He's got something. He's betting pretty chunky. And I've already lost so much money. So I'm just going to have to fold. I mean, I got caught in that. It was a little too much. I got caught in, what is it, like reaching. I was like reaching for something. And that's why I'm glad, like I would be a bad gambler, I think. Or maybe it'd be good, I don't know. I think sometimes I take too many risks and chances with poker. And also I don't know that I would be able to play this game without the value that is there. Like, see how it tells you one pair and it tells you the value? I don't know if I could really play this game without knowing the exact value. Which is cheating, right? Like, I don't want to be a cheater. I think I would be good at it. I think I'm pretty decent at numbers. But it's not really mathematical that much, is it really? Not really. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and bet in this with ace-8. I think ace-8's a nice hand. But every now and then we talk about the comedy thing because it really was like an interesting time in our life, and it's very recent. Like, it was right before COVID. So it was not that long ago. It was like I mean, it was a long time ago. That's the funny thing. It was like 6 years ago. So ace-8, this guy bets 20. That's a lot of money. And I'm down to 128 million, and we're going to reel it in and try to figure out what the hell to do here. We got to be very careful about the cards we play next on this $200 billion table. It was interesting. I mean, and it was kind of fun. Like, you'd see comics, like, you know, comics that are kind of famous, I guess, come back through the kitchen to enter the comedy club so they don't get bothered by people. But I just found a lot of them to be like kind of assholes, but like just kind of like there was one guy in particular, this guy named Joe. I don't mind saying this guy's name because this guy was such a douchebag. Should I not call the guy now? I have to now. What is the guy's name, though? Hold on. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But anyway, well, the name is not important. Let me tell the story, and then I'll tell you the guy's name. Because it'll probably come to me anyway. It's Joe something. So this guy comes to our comedy club, and he's just acting like a big shot, just kind of like, it's just the way they act. It's just the way he acted. He didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't like bad guy or anything. But it was just like, it was gross. And it was like, I know like how to talk, and all you're doing on stage is talking. It's not like you're that big of a deal, bro. Like, stop acting like you're this big shot guy. Like, you're just... Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go all in here with ace-7 because I got to tell you something. I feel like it's a good thing to do. It's not, though. It's not. He has ace-queen. I don't think... Oh, we could still get a club here. But we don't. And we deserve to lose. That was a stupid, stupid play. And it's okay. It's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, everything's fine. We play 7th, which is good. And we're going to jump into another game here, so that's great. Keep playing some poker. We're having some fun today. Yeah, it's, yeah, I'm trying to think of, I will say the guy's name by the end of the stream because I'll remember at some point. And if I don't, I apologize. But, like, it doesn't really matter anyway. Joe, he's part of the You Know What Dude podcast with, well, he does that podcast a lot. He's with a podcast called The Regs, where it's like Bobby Kelly. I don't know. I don't care about comedians anymore. Like, I used to, you know what I used to think? And during COVID, comedians helped me because there was a guy who was on Patreon named Bobby Kelly, and it really helped me get through COVID because I was at home I was home like for months, just not even barely leaving my house because I was one of those people that believed that like people are dying and like stay in your house. So I stayed in my house and I was getting money from the government, so it didn't matter. And it kind of got me through it a little bit. Like I would just go hear what this guy had to say. We would all come together. He would do it live, and we would all be together listening to him talk, and it was cool. It was like it felt like it was a friendship thing. And one of the guys on his show was always this guy named Joe, and he was a fucking. I never really thought he was that funny, and I just remember, for some reason, I just remember having a really douchey feeling about that guy at the club, and just going like, "This is what I don't like about the comedy thing." That this guy, who's really is just like an ugly, dumb guy, is considered this big celebrity superstar guy because he can talk on stage and get people to go, ha 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 ha, you know, and get people somehow convince people that he's this whiz at talking. Meanwhile, he's just a guy from Boston. Forget his name, Joe. What the fuck was his name? It'll come to me. And I just remember thinking, like, even if I could be, like, I would have to, even if I was a comedian, I would have to go through the paces with this guy because he's the big guy, the big comedy in the moment, and it was just gross. And I was like, I don't like the scene. I don't like anything about this. And the good thing, forgetting about that guy for a minute, the guy that owned the comedy club was a nightmare. And like I said, I won't say names. Oh, why did I fold? Oh, I had 2 pair. Oh, that was my fault. Fuck. Alright, we gotta focus in now. Oh, I can't believe that. It's okay. I'm good. I can't believe I missed that, but we gotta get back into it here. We're in the final 3 here at the right hand table. Shame on me for missing that hand. Shame on me. Yeah, the comedy club owner was this guy that hated Donald Trump, and he had like a picture of Donald Trump up. And he hated him so bad. And I actually put a mustache on Donald Trump. Not that I don't like Donald Trump, I just thought that's what you're supposed to do at a comedy club. And he got pissed off at me. And I was like, I thought you didn't like Donald Trump. Why are you... It's like, I didn't say that to him, but he was a weird guy anyway. He was a very abusive guy. So it was an abusive job situation. And really what happened was, like, I kept getting jobs where I was in, like, toxic work environments. And what I realized is 90% of the jobs that I'm going to get, because I wasn't getting good jobs, and we're going to be toxic work environment jobs. That's what I was going to keep getting because I didn't really have a great resume. My resume was like, I worked at gas stations for 10 years. You know what I mean? I just did jobs that I was comfortable doing, but or jobs that I was uncomfortable doing just because I was indoors, like kitchen stuff. But they were not great jobs that went anywhere. So I ended up just continuing down the same path of shit. By the way, that's a big bet. 312K. He bets with me. That's not good for me, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Queen 9, 250K. We're going to bet that. There's the 8. King. I have kings and 8s. So I've got 2 pair. And of course, I'm just going to go all in here. And I think this might be, it's either going to be a big win or a big loss, and we're out of here. Or we're out of that table, at least. Let's see what happens. What happened? I don't think he's going to bet with me. I don't think he has it. Oh, he did. Oh, King 9. Look at that. Look at, oh, we both got it. Oh, jeez. So he's betting big all-in bet here on the right-hand table, and KRS-One gets 1.7. KRS-One, we love your music. There was a time when I used to think, when I would play these games on the computer, I used to think that people were actually those people. Like if somebody was like, just like Jay Bieber, this is how stupid people are, because I'm saying I was stupid. I'd be like, are you the real Justin Bieber? Are you him? They'd be like, are you him? What are you talking about? I'd be like, are you him? I'd be like, who? What are you talking about? And I'd be like, Justin Bieber. Are you Justin Bieber? And he'd be like, yeah, I'm Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? It was so dumb. Like, why would I fall for that? I don't know. Did a lot of stupid stuff. There's a lot of dumb things we do, right? When we're younger. Please. Jack. Hold up, Jack. Hold up. Come on, Jacks. No aces. No fours. Yes, there it is. 1.21 milli. Top 3 on the right table. Yeah, just a lot of bad jobs. And then I finally just stopped. It was the comedy club. The reason I bring it up so much, well, there's probably because this thing we do here is a result of not succeeding at the comedy club. Because I think if I would have done the comedy thing and maybe been successful as like a stand-up comedian or something, or like an open mic guy, and that somehow worked. By the way, there's the flush. I don't know that we'd be doing this streaming thing. Maybe we'd be doing a podcast or something. I don't know that it would be good either. Because I would be a different guy probably. I don't know. Maybe it would be good. I don't know. But then that changed my life, because then I stopped working jobs that I like. Really, it was the guy who owned the club was such a nightmare, and the wife was a nightmare, and it was a bad thing. And there's so much stuff that happened there that was like. That's why of course, I could never tell where I worked because I would get sued. Because what I have to say is defaming or it's serious stuff. Like there was a guy who owned the building who was trying to get with me, basically. He was like a 70-year-old guy, and he was clearly like gay, I guess. I think he would just fuck anything. But he was trying to like fuck me, basically. He would always try to get me alone and stuff like that. So it was weird because I'm kind of like a bigger guy. Like I'm not a big guy, but like I'm big enough. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna have this guy fucking molest me. I was 40 something at the time. To be molested at that point is almost like a stand-up comedy joke, you know? But it's funny when you're in that situation with those kind of people, those kind of molesters and stuff like that. It's a very strange energy, and it was really weird. Whenever the guy was around, it was scary almost. And so at one point, I actually said something to the boss about it. I was just like, this is what I told the woman who was the boss. I said, I just want to tell you, I took a ride with that guy the other day. He gave me a ride home, and he put his hand on my knee. It was kind of weird. I just wanted to mention that to you. And they were just kind of like, oh, that's weird. It turned out later to find out that they knew that this guy was like a molester. They just didn't do anything about it. Like, they knew privately that this guy was, like, known to do that kind of stuff to people. And he never did anything to me. Thankfully, I would have beat the shit out of the guy. I mean, or I'm not trying to be a macho here. By the way, we came in third there. That's okay. I'm not trying to be macho, but I literally would have, like, give him like a warning punch or something, or wrestled him. I mean, he probably would have enjoyed being wrestled, quite frankly. But the guy was hideous looking too. That's the thing too. It's like, not that that would make it better if he was hot. You know what I mean? And I've had other guys hit on me before in a work situation where he's the boss, and it's kind of weird. Like, oh fuck, you know, like it's a weird. Like all of a sudden you wake up, you're like, oh shit, this guy's gay, and he wants to kind of. Oh fuck. You know, you're like, oh. So I've been very careful about like being too flirty with people, because when you're just being friendly, and sometimes somebody will confuse it with being flirty, especially guys. Remember, I live in Seattle. There's a lot of gay people here, so you never know who you're talking to. So I'm always really careful about being too friendly or too flirty with people. So it's kind of interesting. But that comedy club was a nightmare. I mean, it was gross, and it's like, one of the things I always thought was that I would do a podcast and talk about jobs, because I have so many great work stories and stuff, but like, I don't know, it almost seems too negative, and it's almost like one of those things where, do I really want to talk about bad stuff? Because it's almost like a complaining podcast at that point. And I think enough people do those shows where their whole gig is to just criticize and put people down, where it just becomes an exercise of negativity, you know? And do I really want to spend all my time talking about negative shit? I don't really. I don't want that. I don't want, you know, I don't think people need that. I think we're doing something here that's a little bit better, is at least I'm being cathartic about it. And then eventually we move on to more positive things, you know. I don't like to sit in the negative filth, you know. Sorry for drinking on the mic. I apologize. I hate it. I do. I hate when people drink on the microphone. I always hate like mouth sounds. Like, one of my least favorite things is watching an interview with a basketball player. Because he'll be like, what do you think about next week about playing against the Celtics? Do you think it'll be, the interviewer goes, do you think it'll be tough for you guys? I mean, you guys have had a tough week. You lost your best player. You know what? And the guy's just licking his lips, and you're just like, stop. Or the thing where this person takes a drink, and they're like... And you're just like, stop! I'm sensitive to it. I apologize. Or there's another weird thing people do that they don't know they're doing it. It's usually guys that are doing drugs that don't know this. They'll do a tongue... I don't know if you know anybody like this. They'll do a tongue thing like... And there's, I guess, I don't know if it's meth or speed. What is it that people get into this tongue thing? And it's very awkward. I had a guy that lived next door that used to do that all the time. He'd come over, like, he'd help me fix my computer, which I appreciate. But he would do this weird tongue thing, and I'm like, it's ugh. And the guy was also really fat. I won't say his name. And he sat in my chair and broke my chair. He actually broke my chair. I have a chair now that it's probably not a great chair. I should buy a new chair, actually. Now, this guy, I had a gamer chair. It was actually a gamer chair. I spent like $400 on this chair. It was that good. And it was getting to the point where I needed to get a new chair because I had it for like 4 years. And this guy came in to fix my computer, and so he was helping me. And he sat in my chair and fucking broke it. The guy's like at least 350 pounds. At least. He wears it well. But... And I'm sorry to say it, but that's what happened. And I remember I emailed him one time, like, hey man, I was thinking about buying a new chair. What do you think of this one? And he never emailed me back. Because I never told him, like, hey, fat ass, you broke my chair, you know? Because the guy did me a huge favor of fixing my computer. I've learned this about people. You can hate somebody, but they could also be someone that is in your life. Because the guy lives next door. So you have to learn to navigate somebody that you really don't feel comfortable. Like, I don't feel comfortable around that guy. He just feels like it's a weird feeling. It's a little bit similar to the feeling with the nightclub guy. or the comedy club guy, the owner. A little bit similar to that. Where it's just like, what are your intentions, you know? A little bit of boundary crossing. Yeah, that guy, the owner of that nightclub was a nightmare. He would come in and you just would dread it. And then he would get there and he would sit there and talk to you. And the reason that he took a liking to me is because I thought it was cool that he owned a comedy club, and I would talk to him because he owned the building. But he owned the building before, when the building was a strip club. The building used to be a strip club. Again, I'm not saying, if you really wanted to like check it out, you probably could figure it out. By the way, we have a straight on the right table. If you like research what I'm saying, you might be able to figure out what club, where this is. But I'll never tell you. By the way, I am all in because I have a straight. He could have a flush though. If he has a flush, he's gonna beat me. That's all there is to it. I'm willing to take that risk. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a second. Yes. Yes. That's a huge win, by the way. Yeah, this guy, so the thing was, like, so the guy was a building owner, and one day I just talked to him, and he's like, yeah, I've owned this for a while. The guy had a face where his skin was weird. He had, like, a skin problem. It wasn't, like, acne at all. It was almost like his skin was falling off or something. Like, it looked like he had permanent sunburn. But it was clearly a bad condition, and it was disgusting, right? But you try not to focus in on the negative. So I'm talking to the guy and being nice to him, and I'm talking to him about the club, and he's like, you know, this used to be a strip club, and he's showing me pictures, and he's telling me stories, and it's interesting. And I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, maybe I could do a podcast, maybe I could interview this guy. Maybe that would be a cool interview. Like, hey, that could be my start into the podcast world, because I always wanted to do some kind of thing, obviously, right? I like to talk. And so as I'm talking to this guy, the more I talk to him, the more I'm starting to realize he really likes talking to me. And I'm like, hey, this is great. Like, this guy's cool. It's the building owner. That's cool, you know? But then he would try to get me alone more and more. And then that was one day that opened it up, is he gave me a ride home. And in the middle of us, you know, we're just driving, and he just puts his hand on my knee, like, kind of like, and just kind of keeps it there for a minute. Then he pulls it off, and I'm just kind of like, you know, kind of trying to act like I'm in the gym, you know, like, yeah, the guy just put his hand on my knee, do, you know, hey, it's a gym thing, you know. But honestly, I knew right there, like, this is bad. This is not good. Like, this is bad energy. And then after that, like, I never said anything. I finally did tell the owner about that. And then after that, one more time, he's like, took me up to this, because he owned the entire building, and it wasn't just the comedy club. It was also like people lived in the building as well. So he probably was a rich guy, probably owned a few buildings, and he just went around molesting and taking, probably wasn't good. He probably wanted me. Maybe he thought I was gay, and he thought I liked him or something, because I gave him attention, like, because of his fucking stories, not because I was gay. So maybe he confused that, but maybe he thought, if I don't want it, he'll just force himself on me anyway, because I've heard that that's what he does. I don't know. I've heard that later, I heard. Sorry to tell this story. I don't mean to be gross. I don't want to trigger anybody that's had this kind of issue. By the way, flush on the left table, nice big hand there. And that's a 2.8 million win. So yeah, the guy one day he's like, I need this mattress moved upstairs. This guy's moving out. Can you help me? And I was like, okay. So it was one of those situations where I didn't really have to tell the owner that I was going to go do it. I don't know why, but it was just like a comfortable situation. So I just went upstairs, and while I was up there, he was kind of cornering me a little bit as he's talking, and I realized, like, this could go bad, like, because I'm going to fight this guy. I'm going to get out of here for sure, and I'm going to hurt the guy if he tries to do anything to me. So that's not good either, because, you know, so what I ended up doing was, like, thankfully I was just lucky enough to get out of that situation. And then shortly after that, the COVID happened, and I never saw them again. But one day I was talking about this incident on stream, and I got a text from the owner of the comedy club, and it was this angry text, and I was so angry that he texted me that I was shaking, and I didn't read it properly. I just was like angry that he texted me, and then the next thing I noticed, the text was gone. He erased it. And so I never knew what he actually said to me, but I think he was threatening me, like, that he'll sue me. But I never, and I think I might have mentioned the club name or something. Because at the time, they were going through a lot of shit. Because they had a guy who was molesting, they found out later this one guy was molesting people, a different guy. And then there was other stuff going on too, and I think again, I'll never say names, but I think the girl who was the server, who was a real cunt there, was selling drugs there. I think she was. Because she was always, like, really weird acting, and so was this other kid that worked there, too. He was acting weird. And I think he might have been fucking that girl, too. I don't know. It was like, a lot of weird stuff going on, and the kid was a shithead. Everybody was an asshole there. I mean, it was a terrible environment. And it was so fake. Like, the customers that would come in, everybody wanted to be, like, it was just a bunch of wannabes, you know? I remember this one girl was like, there was music playing in the comedy club, and the server, like, I was supposed to help bus tables as well. And I was like, shit, like, I just cooked all this food. Now I gotta bus tables. So I'm busting tables. And one of the customers, this really cute girl, she's like, do you know what song is playing right now? Tell me the song and nothing else. I don't want to hear you talk. And I was like, excuse me? Like, people were really weird and edgy in the comedy club because everybody thought that they were like, hey, the lights in the stage and I have to be edgy and I'm in a comedy club, and that's what I didn't like about the comedy club. I don't like atmosphere of everybody being an asshole, you know? So to me, that's what stand-up comedy was and is, really. It's like, I'll say anything for your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of money is being bet here. I'm going to call that because that's a big bet this guy's making. I have ace-7, he's got ace-queen, we got queen-6, 6-2. Look at this guy with the sixes. We're all fucked here. Except for me, if a 5 comes up, doesn't though, and we're down to 1.45 mil. Good try then, Pebble. What could this guy have? He probably has a 3. Interesting. Yeah, I think he had a 3 or maybe a 10. It's fun to talk about that stuff though, because I just felt so trapped when I was there, and I just felt like, when are we gonna do this thing of, like, what we're doing right now, which is streaming? And the truth is, I know what I needed now. I needed time. That's why I did that job, because it was only 4 days a week. I needed time. I needed days off so I could do it. And I also needed a lot of other stuff too. Camera, computer, like, I needed to figure out what my canvas was gonna be. What was I gonna paint on? Was gonna be it right here. But I didn't know at the time. And they also weren't paying me well. They weren't paying me enough money because I was really good at it. Like, I was cooking for them, and it was just like I was putting up with the server who was a fucking idiot. Like, she was just trying to be. She was very jealous of anybody. That's why I said she was kind of acting like a. I know when someone's on drugs, and she was definitely on drugs, and I think she was dealing, like, probably coke or maybe meth or something. But most likely cocaine would be my guess. Because a lot of people would be like, hey, like, you know, she had a weird relationship with the comics. And I know she knew them for years, but, like, it just seemed like there was something else going on, too. And I don't mean sexual. I mean, like, drugs. That's what I think. And her husband was probably a drug dealer, too, now that I think about it. There's a lot of drugs is a big deal in, like, I don't know, I've just seen a lot in my life. Just seen a lot of drug abuse in my life. Not really in my own life. I've abused it at times, but other people, like, I've been around a lot of drug abuse in my life. Like, there's been times when I couldn't escape it because I lived in a house, in this very house, where there was a drug dealer, a pimp, and a prostitute all living here. Yes, I'm serious. Not kidding. Not exaggerating. I'm not saying like she was kind of like a prostitute or it was kind of like a drug. No, they were actually doing that shit. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he got a flush. That was the only thing that was going to beat me. I wish I would have paid better attention to that. That's okay. I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff. Like when I worked at gas stations, I saw pimps and prostitutes and stuff. But it wasn't until I started living with people that were doing that I was like, this is an ugly world. It's not cool. And I started getting upset about like rappers romanticizing about being a pimp and kids that are teenagers talking about like, here's a pimp. He looked like a pimp. And I was like, I know what a pimp really is. That's not what I want to glorify. I don't want to glorify that shit. Pimp, drugs, all that shit. There's nothing great about any of that stuff. But, you know, I don't want to be the downer at the party, you know. And look, the recreational, I think it's cool that pot is legal, and I'm happy that it's legal for people, that they can do it. But I don't want to be around it. I don't even like being around people that are like, I'm in a good mood, man. I'm stoked. Because I don't like seeing people like just act like the same all the time. I don't want to see like, oh, you're in a good mood now, but then tomorrow I'm going to see you and I don't know what I'm going to expect. Like I can't live like that. I don't want to live like that anymore. And we're in a great, and now I'm just like, just keep stepping my life game up. Trying to make, I mean, this house is way better now. We just got rid of a guy who lived here who was doing drugs, and he was he was trying to hide it, but he stopped paying his rent. So that's one indication, that's one indication. And I was telling everybody who would listen, like, this guy's doing drugs. This guy's no good. No, we've never. And then I found like a little druggie bag. I found a bag of drugs, but it was like residual drugs in it, and I was like, oh, this is for sure gonna get this guy out of here. Nah, it didn't. People were like, I showed it, never mind, I don't want to get into it, but it was just, I showed it to somebody and they were like, it was a person that could have actually helped get this guy out of here, and they basically were like, they say that it's not drugs. And I'm like, they said it wasn't, but it is. Don't believe this guy's a liar. He's doing drugs. Anyway, that's all I'll say about it. I don't want to say much more. I still try to be careful. You never know who's watching. It's all good. Honestly, I mean, things are getting better and better in my life. I mean, I would be here, I would be in my room, just like I am now, streaming, while this guy's, like, drugged out of his fucking head in his room. Playing, like, really loud, TV really loud, and I can't, like, wake him up to get him to, like, hey, can you turn that down? Like, because he's so drugged out of his fucking head. I gotta wait for his girlfriend to come home. And then she's, like, wakes him up finally. It's like, that was the only good thing about his girlfriend. Yeah, glad that's over. That's good, man. There were some cool things. Like I got to meet a guy named Greg Fitzsimmons, and he's like a really good podcaster. He was just on the Joe Rogan podcast recently. Not that I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan podcast, but it's okay. Oh, me and this guy have the same hand, Ace 10. I love that. Yes, come on, Ace 10. No. Queen. Yes, there it is. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh, I love that. We both had some big win there, and oh, it's nice. Big win. 3 players left on the left table. 3 players are remaining on the left table. It's weird to say 3 players left on the left table. Isn't that a weird way to say that? Don't you think it's weird? Do you think it's weird? I think it's weird. I have king 8. He's all in. I was folding. It's a tough fold because that's a lot of money. But you know what? I didn't have it. He did. Clearly, he had ace 3. Okay. Jack 2 versus 2-9. I like my chances. There's the 2. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a nice win. Yeah, I met Greg Fitzsimmons. So, I was always a real fan of Greg Fitzsimmons' podcast. I like podcasts. You know, I've always liked podcasts. By the way, we're all in with 200K. 7-2 versus ace 8. We should lose this hand, and we will. Oh, wait. Maybe not. Diamonds. We have a lot of outs here, actually. But we didn't get it. And we came in 3rd place, which is really good. That's all I really wanted to do there is I just wanted to start placing, and we're doing great now. I just love playing this game. I just think it's a lot of fun, man. I love poker. So the Greg Fitzsimmons thing is interesting. Oh, wait. 10 queen. I am all in with 2 pair. Oh, I hope he has a queen and thinks he's going to... He has Jack 8. Doesn't have anything. And that's going to do it for City Cop. And I've played against City Cop before. He's a great player. It's fun to beat guys that are good. And now we're top 3 here. And I have King Jack, which is a really good hand. It's a good flop. It's a good hand pre-flop. There's the king. You love to see that. And then we'll talk about Greg Fitzsimmons because it's a good story. It's actually a bad story for me because I was so nervous meeting the guy. But it was cool. It was actually, it is a very interesting story. It is an interesting story. I'll tell the story, actually. I promise I will tell the story. Oh, we both have 2-5. Look at us. We're a bunch of silly guys. We're so silly with this 2 sillies being sillies. I can see why Jim Norton does that. Look, this is for me, all right? This stream is for me. I'm saying things, people don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. King 3, ace 3 versus ace 7. I mean, those are good hands. Those are better hands technically than what I have. And there it is. Aces win. So we still have 3 players left. Astro Fuss is hanging on. And I'm going to go ahead and fold this one. Let these guys play it out. King, Queen versus 9, 10. And there goes Astro Fuss, a good player. And now it's 1v1 as we attempt to get into another poker game. Let's do this. We're having a great time. We're streaming. My name is Van Pebble. A whole recap. And now we're at the top 2 now. 1 versus 1. 1v1 heads up is what they call it. That's an awkward, it's all awkward way of saying heads up. And he bets 500K. I'm just going to go all in because can't imagine he has a jack. I don't think he has a jack. I really don't. I think he was trying to bully me there. Ace 6. He has ace 8, which means I was right. There's the ace on the turn. And there's the river. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you lose. But you know what? We came in second. That's really good, actually. I'm not mad at it. And now we move on. See if we can play 2 tables at the same time here. So let's talk about Greg Fitzsimmons. So this is a really interesting story. At the time, it was right before COVID. It was around 2018, I think. When was actually COVID? I always get confused on when COVID was. Was it 2020? Was it 2020? What year did COVID happen? Or did it kind of start? In America. In the world probably, but 2020. So around 2020, I was really into podcasts, and I was listening to this guy named Joe Matarese. He's this Italian comic. He's kind of this guy that like never really made it, but like there's a podcast now that the woman does. Her name, she's a trans girl named Karen from Philly who does Monumental Waste of Time is what it's called. And it's a really nice podcast, and she talks about this guy, Joe Matarese. She's obsessed with him. She wants to just have his babies, right? So she loves this guy. But, like, really, the truth is, I think, like, Karen is a comic who never really made it either, but they feel a kinship toward this guy. So anyway, this Joe Matarese guy. So, yeah, check out Monumental Waste of Time. It's a good podcast. So this Joe Matarese guy is a comic that never really made it, and so, but he was doing a podcast, and I enjoyed the podcast. He's an East Coast guy, and I'm from the East Coast, so I feel like some kind of kinship. He's an Italian, I'm Italian. I just felt like a kinship with the guy, and I enjoyed talking. So the cool thing about this guy was he's a lower level comedian, right? I'm not trying to hammer it home to be rude, but the fact is he was very approachable. Like you could email him. Like I was texting him on his phone number, and he was texting me back. Like that's how cool the guy was, So he was a cool guy. So I was texting this guy back and forth, and I heard that I was trying to get him into the comedy club that I was working as a cook. So I told him, hey man, I'm a cook at a comedy club. It would be cool to have you at the club. And he goes, hey, I'd like to do that, right? We're texting back and forth. And so there was like a little relationship forming where it was like I was a fan. I knew my boundaries. Like I wouldn't like text him all the time, just whenever usually about the comedy club or something. And so this is where Greg Fitzsimmons comes in. So I told him Greg Fitzsimmons is coming to the club. And he goes, oh, really? And I go, yeah. He goes, hey, let me send a message to him. I'll send you a voice message. Play it for him. So I was like, that's cool. Right? So Joe Matarese does like a voice thing. You could do on a text where you could do like a voice thing where you just press voice and then you talk into it. So the guy does the voice message thing, and he's like, hey, it's Joe, how you doing? Whatever he said, I don't even remember. And so I had this sitting in my phone, and Greg Fitzsimmons is in my comedy club, and I'm excited. And there he is, like, actually, like, not really that impressive looking, like a little short guy who's kind of, like, not that handsome, really, kind of not really that interesting looking, and he's hanging out with, like, a guy who's a lawyer, who's, like, acting like this big shot guy, and it's kind of like, but Greg, don't get me wrong, like, this is a guy that I, like, listen to countless podcasts. Like I really enjoyed listening hours and hours of it. So it was like meeting a big deal to meet this guy for me. And so when I meet him, the first thing I do is I'm like, I was very respectful. Mr. Fitzsimmons, it's nice to meet you. And he was like, hey, you too. And I started shaking. I was so nervous to meet this guy. I was like, Mr. Fitzsimmons, I have a message I want to play for you on the phone. Let me see if I can find it. All of a sudden, my brain just leaves me, and I can't find it. And then I finally do find it, and it's kind of awkward. I can see him kind of like a little uncomfortable. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous. Like, I don't even think I could say that I was really nervous because I couldn't find it. Like, just my voice was just out. Like, I was gone. I wasn't there. I was just a mess. And so eventually I played the message for him, and he enjoyed it. It was a pretty cool moment. And then he was like, you want to take a picture? And I was like, I learned very quickly that I don't like selfies. I was like, no, man, this is the selfie right here, which is a moment I'm proud of. Because that made that, at least I pulled out of my nervous thing in that moment. And I was like, hey, man, like, no, this is cool. Like, this interaction is the selfie, man. Love, I'll take this with me. You know, blah, blah. And he left, and that was my interaction with Greg Fitzsimmons. And I mean, I met, like, I would say I saw some pretty big comedians, I guess, but not really. Like, a lot of them were just like some lesbian comedian that plays guitar music or whatever. Like, I didn't really meet, like, it was nothing that would impress you at the comedy club that I met. You know, Rob Snyder was there one time. I was supposed to cook him broccoli, but like he never asked for it, so I never had to make it. And I was a little nervous with that one too, because that's Rob Snyder. You know, like, Rob Snyder's a big deal. And it was always kind of cool when they'd be like, hey, can you bring, sweet potato fries to the green room? And I'm like, sure. It was like, and that was kind of fun when you would bring the fries to the comedian. But I never liked the fact that, like, they were on this level and I was like down here. I was like, I just felt like, look, man, like, I just don't think you guys are that much better than me just because you talk on a microphone. That was kind of my whole thing about and I guess that's the last thing we'll say about it. I don't want to beat it to death. We've talked about it many times on many of these streams with HD Poker, but it is fun to talk about. And it was like a lifetime away. I was having a conversation with my roommate the other day, one of my roommates, and we were just talking about, like, how we've lived several lives. Because this guy that I was talking to, like, he lives here now, but, like, he's done so many things. You know, he's owned a business, and he, like, he grew up, like, in, like, Thailand and shit, like Hong Kong and stuff. I was like, what? Like, I just never, like, I know he eats, like, sometimes he'll make shrimp in the house and it smells horrible, but I'm like, he does eat a lot of, like, I can see why he eats that stuff, because he grew up eating that stuff. By the way, nice win by Van Pebble right there. We're just talking about how, like, so many jobs and so many things that you've done with your life. It's like you've lived little lifetimes. Like, I was in the military, and then there's obviously I was a little kid, and I did this and that, and I did sports, and I was a really good athlete when I was a kid, like most kids are. And then and then it was like, you realize, like, that was as far as I was going to go. Then I joined the military, and that was the whole thing. And then there's outside of the military, and then there's, like, working gas stations, working kitchens, living in different places, being homeless. Like, I've done all kinds of shit, you know? I've done so much. I wasn't, like, I would say being homeless, I lived in a shelter for a while, but I never was, like, on the streets to that level, because I knew that would break me. Like, I just knew living on the streets would just break me. I knew that it was like that. It's hard to escape from that. If you go to that level, it's really hard not to climb out, and it's hard to climb out of it. And a lot of times, like, it pushes you to drug use and shit like that. Like, the only time I've ever done heroin is when I was living in a shelter. So it's like, when you're living in that level, you sort of live to the level that you're at. That's why that was a scary time, you know, in my life. And like, heroin was like, probably good that we never do that again, because it was incredible. Like, I became like a spiritual guru, like, when I was high on heroin. Like it was just like you feel like you're drunk, you feel good, you feel cool, like you're not worried about anything. And then when I would dream, I would have like these amazing dreams. They would feel so real, and it was like everything just felt so real. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. I can't do heroin anymore. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, I did it more than once, but not like that many times. And also the people I was hanging with were just a bunch of loser people. You know what I mean? It's like a loser life. It's a loser thing. It's like I can't believe like Philip Seymour Hoffman. By the way, we have King and 2, but obviously 8s is going to be the deal here. I'm going to bet. I don't see people betting. I'm going to bet 90K. I do have a King. If he has an 8, obviously he beats me. But I feel like I have a pretty good hand here. Okay, there you go. There's the 8 right there. Ace 8. Yeah. But I've said this. I said this in a stream. Like I think it was on a Fortnite stream recently. Um, like that's the whole purpose of life, really, is to like try everything. Like I'm not saying it's good to try it, and I've had people be like, "Don't try it," or whatever. I'm like, you have to try everything. I'm not saying like I'm not saying that you should really, but like if you could do it the safest way possible, should try everything, you know? I mean, there's limitations. You don't want to hurt other people, but there's some things like there's some things that people do, extreme sports that people do that I would never do because I think it's really stupid to put your life on the line like that. But there's people that feel that, to me, like that's as bad as heroin. You know, there's people. I remember there was this girl that was like I worked in a Jewish retirement center as a dishwasher. I was a dishwasher, and she was like a server, and she was like this girl she always talked about how she liked to mountain climb, or she would rock climb. So she would climb actual like rocks, and she fell one time, and she came in to work, and looked like somebody beat the fuck out of her. She had bruises all over her face, her body, her arms. She was showing everybody, and it was because she was climbing, and she was doing like a thing where she was trying to put one of those beaner things, those little carabiner things, those metal things that you hook onto the rock so it like hooks in, and it didn't hook in right. She like pulled it and fell. She fell from a fucking rock climb. So it's like, to me, that's stupid. Like, why would you put yourself in that situation, you know? But it's a buzz, it's a charge, you know? So people are chasing the charge. And so this is kind of my drug now. Green tea. I try to do healthy things. I'm addicted to Facebook cat groups. I've talked about this before. I love Facebook groups that are just pure and like wholesome. Like you're not going to find out 10 years later that like, oh, it was actually a secret bestiality ring. Like I'm not interested. Like I just love to see like cute pets. Like all that stuff is good for my blood, you know? It's like, yeah, it's good energy, good innocent energy. That's a safe addiction. Cat Facebook groups. You can't fuck with me there. You know? Inspirational Facebook groups. Can't fuck with me there. Ooh, there's an all-in. Look at this here. There's the straight Austin AC, and Shard Engine is gone. I don't even know what. Oh, they had Jack. Okay, so a pair of Jacks. I mean, sometimes it's really easy to not see the whole board when you're playing this game. You've got to see all the cards. Like earlier, we had a straight, and we just kept looking at the straight going, I have a straight, I have a straight. But I didn't see that there was 4 spades on the board, and then I lost a big hand. Gotta see the board, ladies and gentlemen. See the board. And look, I've fantasized about having closure and like approaching these people that I felt were bullies in my life and whatever, but it's like by me enjoying my life and streaming and doing the things I want to do and working on the weekends, I work 3 days a week only. What a blessing. It's like by me, that's my way of retaliating by making my life better. And then if I see these people again and they try to fuck with me, yeah, then I will fucking I will then defend myself. But if I just see somebody, I'm just going to look at them with the satisfaction that I'm living a good life. You didn't get the best of me. I don't know why you wanted to, but you didn't get it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a big hand here. Ace Queen versus Jack 10. I mean, there's 10, a 10. Oh, he doesn't get it. And Easy D is down to 42K, and TNT Cucks gets the big win there. Very nice hand, TNT Cucks. Easy D is all in. Big pot. There's a side pot and a main pot. Pretty big pot there. The main pot's up to 210. Oh, that's a big bet by Kissin Guyan. 50. Kissin Guyan. Kissin Guyan is a good name. Ooh. Wow. Oh, there's the flush on the river. He gets the flush, and Kissin Guy really didn't have much. He had a pair of 8s. And now we're down to 4 players left. I'm the low man at the table here. I'm the marshmallow peep. And 9 and 6. I'm gonna go ahead and fold that. I don't play 6 and 9. I don't play 6-9. For some reason, I went through a period of time where I played 6 and 9 all the time. I don't know. I just thought like, oh, it's a good hand. 6-9, 6. I was like, no, I don't think it's a good hand, man. You got to think about what the cards that you get dealt are going to create. And 6-9 doesn't do much for you. It could do a straight possibly. I mean, if 6 and 9 were suited, then I guess maybe. But those are not great cards. And we've got nothing here. We're going to just check it along the boards. And let's see. He bets 120K. He's got better than what I've got. I don't not like 9-10, but since I'm on the dealer, I don't have to bet, so I'll just go ahead and fold that. Oh, there's the 10 on the flop. I also think, like, as far as comedy goes, you know, I think this is the future of expression. I think streaming is the future of it. And I think if anybody proved that, it's Kai Cenat and I Show Speed. There's two kids that really have no real talent or skill to speak of. As far as, like, talking, or like, they have nothing to say. They're just like stupid kids. But the fact that they were able to, their personality, that they had some kind of thing to express to people that was beyond words. It was a camaraderie of some kind. By the way, we're all in because we kind of have to go all in here. We sort of have to go all in. I like it. I like the move. It's a good win for us. He bets 160. I'm going to go all in again with 2-2. See, this is a dangerous position to be in because 2-2 is a silent killer. It's a hand that shouldn't win, but it's a hand that could be like that little sniper that you're just not ready for. Like, and a 2 could show up here on the river as well. Like, what if a 2 shows up right now? Then we'll win. I mean, we probably would win with this hand. So he really doesn't have anything. Oh, he had a straight. Oh, he got the straight. Look at that. We almost took that. That was amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a good stream. I think that's going to do it for the stream, actually. I like that. I like opening up a stream like that. Let's take a look at what we've got going here. Is this how we want to end things? I think we could end it this way. I don't have a problem with ending the stream. We have a lot of work to do today. We got a lot of streaming to do today. We're gonna stream. Well, let's get some music playing and let's talk to the people. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the stream. A little card playing. It doesn't always have to be 2 hours long. We don't always have to have a bonus stream. Not always. Sometimes when I play cards, it's only an hour. I'll do a bonus stream, but not today. I think for this, we'll just leave it at that. We've got a couple big... Here's what we're going to do today. I've got a couple things I want to stream today. One of them is Red Dead Redemption 1, the first game. We've got a nice flow going with that game, and we're trying to beat the game. We've actually gotten further than I've ever gotten in the game. I've been playing the game on and off for since 2010, basically, when it came out. And, like, took a break for 8 years, and I played it again. Then I took a break for 8 years, and I played it again. It's like every 8 years I play the game. And I finally want to just beat the game. So that's what we're trying to do. So we're definitely going to play that today. At some point, I think we'll probably wait till like maybe the afternoon to play that, because that's a nice afternoon game. And then, you know, Fortnite is like my favorite game to play right now. I love it. And we've got some big streams coming either today or tomorrow. I want to wait to do it. I'm just gonna tell you this. I bought a Steam Deck. And it finally arrived, and I've hooked it up on Sunday night. I hooked up my Steam Deck, and I actually started playing Arc Raiders a little bit. I played, I think there was another game I played a little bit, played a couple games. It was like, ooh, you know, it was really fun. But I also had a few issues with it. Like, I just got it. It took me a while to get the Switch 2 squared away, so I think it's going to take me a little while to square away the issues that I'm having right now with the Steam Deck. Basically, I won't get too much into the weeds. I just want to, like, when I'm ready to roll it out, I'll just roll it out. But basically, we're having some issues with some of the performance of it. At this point, I've already bought it from the guy on eBay, so I can't, like, do anything about it. It's mine now. I think the system itself is fine. I think the problem that I have is the docking station. So it comes with this pussy-ass docking station that's not very quality, not very good, and I think that I'm having trouble. Like I said, I'm not gonna like go too hardcore into it. I'll just fix it. If we can't fix it, then I'll just live with what I've got, and we'll just figure out how to work around it. But I'm getting a new docking station today, so I'm basically waiting until the new docking station comes in, and I'm hoping that fixes my issue. If that doesn't fix my issue, I'll just stream it the way I have to, and we'll stream the Steam Deck the way I have to. But I think we do need a new docking station, because I've been having problems with my gamepad. Anything that plugs into the back of the docking station is not working that great. I think it's a power issue, basically. So there you go. But that is something that is in the works. Steam Deck, which means different games that, like Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the games that I really want to play, but I want to beat the first one first. So that's why we're trying to really aggressively like make a point to beat that. So we're going to play Fortnite next, then Red Dead Redemption. If you're watching this live, this is more meaningful to you than people that are watching it later. They're like, oh good, thanks for telling me something that already happened. You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Van Pebble is the streamer. This is my channel. Please go to my channel. Follow the Twitch channel. I have social media, and I'm on most of the social media Van Pebble is on. The ones that matter to me, such as Twitter /X. Here's a tweet. I've always enjoyed a good rom-com. Kevin James just put out a nice feel-good movie called Solo Mio. The woman is very cute, and it's a nice Valentine's flick for those still in the mood. I'll review black movies next in honor of Black History Month. So that's a cute tweet. And we'll watch a black movie, and it's going to be a great month, by the way. Shout out to Black History Month. And so there's the Twitter. Follow that. It's pretty cool. I think you can see it's loose and fun, and there's nothing real menacing there. We're just trying to be a little bit loose and light these days. That's what I'm trying to be. Loose, light entertainment. You could donate money to Van Pebble by donating money to @ThomasPaulVino. @ThomasPaulVino, no spaces, no capital letters. On PayPal, ladies and gentlemen. Van Pebble is on YouTube. Please go to my YouTube channel and watch my shows. It's not like, people are like, what do you do on there? I play video games and I talk. That's it. Does that mean we'll never change? We'll never do anything different? No, it's open. We can do whatever we want. But mostly it's going to be probably me playing video games, because that's how I like to unwind. That's how I like to get my blood flowing. It helps me wake up a little bit. It's what I like to do. And so we take the videos from Twitch and we throw them up on YouTube. And I think you'll enjoy it. We have a lot of videos up there. Content. If you're looking for a creator that is consistently putting up numbers, I'm like the Shy Gilgis Alexander of streaming. I put up numbers consistently. I may not be the best looking player. No offense, Shy Gilgis. Right? He's not the best looking guy in the world. He's certainly no... I don't know, who's a good looking basketball player? Are there even good looking basketball players? Probably. See, that just tells you that. There you go, right there. I'm not gay. Okay. Van Pebble is on YouTube, but we love gay people. Please, everybody. We love everybody. And we love anybody who loves video games. There you go. Van Pebble is on YouTube. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. There's nothing else. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you to the Relaxed Movement, by the way, on YouTube. I'd like to give a shout out to the Relaxed Movement. They put free music out there. I'm going to subscribe live as we talk here. I'm subscribing to that channel. I listen, being a creator, making videos and stuff is hard to be original. And it's hard not to steal. Especially when it comes to music, like doing an intro and an outro. It's like, what do you do these days? So thank God for these guys. Relax Movement. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the show today. For this particular stream. We will be back very shortly. We're gonna come back probably in about maybe 10:30, maybe 15 minutes. We're gonna stream some Fortnite, and then finally to end the day, but at least I know for a fact we're gonna stream Red Dead Redemption. So those are the two things we're gonna do today: Fortnite, Red Dead Redemption, the first one, and then we'll see what happens the rest of the day. Don't quote me on this, but there may be a little Mario in there somewhere. I don't know, and I don't know when I don't know when the dock is coming in. If my Steam Deck dock comes in, and all of a sudden it just works good, we'll probably have to start streaming that tonight, I would imagine, because it's too exciting. But if for some reason it doesn't fix my issue, and this guy sold me a piece of shit thing, then I'll just play with what I've got, and I'll just play with the way it is. And I think it will definitely be better than the dock station I have now, because at least there will be fans in it. Because this dock station I have now for my Steam Deck doesn't even have fans, so there's no and you do need a cooling thing for these handheld things. Like even for the Switch 2, I've got a cooling fan on it. Alright, so I'm going to get the hell out of here. You guys have a good day today. I hope you like my shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts. This is an octopus. Look at this. Look at that. It looks like oh, look at how many arms this guy have. What? Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. And we will talk to you later. Have a great day.